In this episode, it is time to explore the world of pet tech. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Val Talks Pets, the forum for pet parents and enthusiasts alike. Having been in the pet industry for more than 15 years now, I am going to share with you issues and questions that arise as I work with pet parents on a day-to-day basis. I am not a veterinarian, but I do have certifications in canine, feline, small animal, fish and herptile, and avian health and nutrition from the University of California, Davis Extension. As we know, and as I say many times, the pet industry is subject to changes like any other industry influenced by technology. Pet tech, or pet technology, encompasses AI-powered gadgets, apps, and hardware designed to improve pet health, safety, and lifestyle, including smart collars, automatic feeders, and activity monitors. And to add to this is One Digital Health. So let's take a journey through some of the pet tech and then look at the inclusion of digital health. Let's first look at wearable IoT. For the not so techie, which includes me, IoT is the Internet of Things. IoT consists of physical objects or things embedded with sensors, software, and technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the internet. For pets, this would include smart collars, trackers that monitor health, activity, and location in real time. Now, many people are looking for GPS trackers for their pets. Trackers for pets have been around for quite some time. However, their technology was limited. For example, some trackers could only keep tabs on pets within a certain radius. This is not helpful if the pet has wandered off and is now 5 blocks away. So, what are you actually looking for with a tracker? The top GPS dog trackers offer real-time location tracking using cellular networks, LTE, long-term evolution, a 4G wireless broadband technology providing high-speed data to provide unlimited range via smartphone apps. GPS trackers for dogs have all kinds of different abilities, and it will depend on what you are trying to accomplish. For example, if you are in a city, an Apple AirTag could be an option because they are inexpensive. They rely on nearby iPhones rather than direct GPS. If you are outside of a city, this method is less reliable. Therefore, you would be looking for a GPS that offers robust waterproof tracking. In terms of battery life, you could find a tracker that has anywhere from 3 days to 4 weeks of battery life. You will also have to consider the size of the tracker for your dog. You do not want a little dog burdened with a giant tracker, nor do you want a large dog with a tracker too small. The other thing you will more than likely have to do is take out a subscription. Most GPS trackers require a monthly or annual fee for cellular service. The advantages of having a GPS tracker means you have the ability to find your dog in real time if they go missing. Depending on the tracker, you can set up what is called virtual fencing or geofencing, where you set up zones like your backyard and receive instant alerts to your phone if your dog crosses the boundary. You can then identify your dog's exact location on a map, with some giving you updates every 2 to 3 seconds in live mode. Some also apparently include LED lights and sound alerts to help find your dog in the dark. In the case of dogs that have been dog napped, a tracker can also let you know if the dog is moving at vehicle speed. And if you want to allow your dog some exploring freedom, maybe out in the country, you can always see where they are. Personally, I don't think that's a benefit that should be used as a norm. Your dog should always be within sight and calling distance. If you are on a trail out in the country and your dog is off exploring, the chances of running into an animal that you do not want to run into can be pretty good. Running into a skunk, porcupine, coyote, another dog can end in something very bad. Being a person who lives in the country and has ventured on many remote trails, I can tell you keeping your dog near to you is essential. And good recall is also essential. So, pet trackers are a very sought after item. I would say look into the different types and what will be the best for you and your dog. Now, let's say the dog has not disappeared because you are using a smart leash. What is a smart leash? Well, a smart leash is a high-tech or enhanced retractable dog leash designed to improve safety, control, and convenience. Well, how exactly does it do that? One of the biggest drawbacks of a retractable leash is that if you do not have the stop button pressed, the dog can see something and bolt, and you have no way of stopping them in time. Plus, you are probably face down in the dirt at this point. The smart leash has a braking feature that is automatic, that engages the lock if the dog lunges. The automatic lock is supposed to reduce the face plants and have the walker be able to act faster in a take-off situation. Retractable leashes are known as a danger for dogs not being able to be controlled. Maybe this feature can, and as they say, help reduce that danger. A smart leash also has built-in LED lighting and reflective tape. This is very beneficial for walking when it is dark. Some of the more high-end smart leashes also have Bluetooth to connect to apps that can provide activity tracking, GPS, and alerts to incoming phone calls. Is that for the dog or the human? All in all, not a bad product for the braking system alone. Let's look at another direct tech that can benefit a pet, and this is a health monitor. Some wearable health monitors can track health metrics like heart rate, respiration, temperature, and activity level at rest as opposed to at play. They can even detect behavior changes such as increased scratching or reduced activity, which can alert a pet parent to potential skin issues or pain. Some will even track sleep quality. A pet with arthritis or epilepsy can be monitored through an app. The pet parent can then analyze data over time, which will give them a good handle on pain and pain management, and also detect health issues early. AI is often used to detect any abnormalities, and you can get a GPS tracker that includes a health tracker as well. The inclusion of sleep and activity monitoring allows pet parents to further monitor a pet's health. One tracker in particular, the Animo by Sure Pet Care, focuses on behavior tracking. This tracker will give data about barking or scratching and sleep quality. If someone wanted to track whether a dog was barking when they were left alone and for how long, this could be invaluable for training purposes. Also, if the dog was scratching, but you didn't know how long or how frequently they do it when you were not home, again, this could be invaluable. As well, there are health trackers that measure pulse, temperature, and respiration rate. If this is a working dog or athletic dog, this info can be very beneficial. A different type of tracking for pets is digital records for pet health. According to animalstart.com, digital records offer a convenient and efficient way to organize and access your pet's medical information anytime, anywhere. They suggest selecting a reliable app or software designed for pet health management. Then you enter information such as vaccination dates and types, veterinary visits and diagnosis, medications and dosages, allergies, or special health considerations. They also suggest you use password protection, back up your data, include photos of your pet and documents like vaccination certificates, and share access with trusted family members or caregivers. It is felt that digital records ensure a pet's health history is organized. I know most of us rely on the vet to keep records, but I think being more proactive is probably a good thing. To go even further with this whole idea of tracking, you can create QR codes for your pets. Most of the time, the QR code is designed to find a lost pet, but it can also contain information about medical conditions, dietary needs, and emergency instructions. The QR code is linked to an online profile that can be accessed by anyone who scans the QR code with their phone. This method does not actually show where the pet is, but if a pet is found, you can scan the code to get their information. There are lots of companies online that you can access to create the code. Another health support for your pet that is considered pet tech is telemedicine platforms. Telemedicine for pets allows pet owners to access veterinary care remotely via video, phone, chat, providing convenient, stress-free, and often cost-effective care for many common pet health issues. Apparently, you can connect with licensed veterinarians through apps or online platforms for consultations, follow-ups, behavioral advice, and prescription management. You can do video calls or talk over the phone, and you can use a camera to show your pet or photos. It's pretty convenient doing this because you might get an answer without having to stress the pet out by taking it to the vet. I have never used telehealth for pets, but I can really see the benefit. In the same category, there are other home health options. Home testing kits can detect various health issues, including diabetes, skin mites, yeast infections, ear infections, and intestinal parasites. The kit allows you to take a sample and then send it to the designated lab. You would have to look up what type of home testing kits are available in your area. It seems that there are different types that offer fecal and urine testing, but also some mobile diagnostics that can do blood work and even biopsies. I have never heard of that in my area, but you may in your area. I like the idea of taking a fecal sample and being able to send it to a lab. Some worms, for example, can only be detected through a fecal test. If doing the collection yourself is cheaper than going to the vet with your sample, then why not? However, you may then be in the predicament where you can't get the proper medication because only the vet has it and they won't give it to you if you haven't done the test with them. Bit of a dilemma there. This will all depend on your area and what is allowed to be available. Let's switch gears now to some of the tech that is more tangible. For example, many people have cat or dog doors. These flaps installed in a door allows the cat or dog to go outside and come back in on their own accord. There are smart doors, of course there are, that provide more security but allow the pet to come and go. It controls what pet is coming in. So, if a skunk wanders by and smells food in the kitchen and sees a way through a kitty door, it won't get in because it doesn't have the activation ability. Phew. Here is how a smart door works. A sensor detects the presence of your pet. The sensor can be infrared or magnetometer. So the sensor detects the pet, which triggers the microcontroller to open the door. Once the pet has passed through, the sensor detects this and triggers the microcontroller to close the door. Some smart doors will have timers, scheduling, and activity tracking. Your pet will wear a key that attaches to their collar that gains them access. The key can include RFID or Bluetooth to ensure only the authorized pet can access the door. So, no surprises having a skunk or raccoon chowing down on the cat or dog's kibble. There are also microchip dog and cat doors, where a microchip is embedded under the pet's skin that allows the door to be accessed this way, as opposed to wearing a key. Let's talk now about smart feeders. Now, smart feeders can be a real help, but I think most benefits are with cats. Smart feeders can be programmed to feed at a certain time and also control portions. Cats often like to graze throughout the day, but some people stress that their cat will eat the entire bowl and weight becomes an issue. A smart feeder allows the pet parent to let the cat have the natural instinct of eating throughout the day, but they can control when and how much. As well, if you go away overnight, you can set up your smart feeder and not worry about the cat being fed. I decided to grab an actual smart feeder and tell you about its features. So this one does 6 meals. There are 6 chambers and you can alternate what you put in it. If you want to have some wet food in a few chambers, there are ice packs included that are inserted under the feeding chambers to keep the wet food fresh. The top rotates to expose a chamber with the allotted amount of food. You can schedule meals using the app. And if you are home and want to just have the chamber open, you can do that too manually. Another one I am looking at is also programmed with an app, but this one is for kibble. It looks like a gravity feeder where you put a bunch of kibble in a cylinder. You can customize the amount of kibble that comes out and when. And you can get an alert on the app that the food is low. It too has a manual button that lets you dispense food overriding the schedule. A similar setup on this feeder I'm looking at also includes an HD 3MP camera, sound and motion detection, night vision, two-way audio, video playback, and a feeding history over and above the scheduling and the portion control. Now tell me that isn't high tech. You can watch your pet, talk to them, and get an alert when sound or motion is detected around the feeder. And if you're not all that keen on using an app, there are programmable feeders that you can schedule feeding times by simply setting up the timer that enables the chambers to open. You put in the feeding chamber the amount you wish, and it will open at the desired time. Now that we have the feeding automated, why not have the treats do the same thing? InstaChew does Pure Chew Snack Treat dispenser. But of course, it has all the bells and whistles. It too has an HD 3MP camera, motion detection, night vision, two-way audio, scheduling, and a treat thrower. Can you imagine scheduling your cat or dog's treats to throw out of this dispenser throughout the day? Great idea. And of course, you can talk to your pet because it has two-way audio. And you can watch the excitement on the camera when the treats start to come out of the dispenser. And speaking of watching your pet, what about cameras? We have had a few different cameras. The first one we could access through an app, and it let us watch Tundra when we first got him. He was in a crate at the very first because we didn't know what he would do out on his own. When we figured he would probably be fine, we experimented by leaving him out. And when we looked on the camera, we just saw him lying on the floor in the living room. And then in a blink of an eye, he just disappeared. So hubby bolted home, and guess where he found him? In the bedroom, on the bed. The camera we have now allows for two-way audio. The one I'm looking at right now has the HD camera, motion detection, night vision, two-way audio, motion tracking, that's cool, Wi-Fi, 355-degree pan and cloud storage. That is pretty cool. Cameras in the house are quite a thing, especially when you can talk to your pet as well. Along with all the feeders and cameras and treat dispensers, here is another one that may be over the top, but who knows. Dogness makes a pet robot. It's a smart device designed to provide pet parents with remote monitoring and interaction. It has video, two-way audio, and a laser pointer for play, and a treat dispenser. You can control the robot via the app. After watching the video on this product, I think it is just a techier treat dispenser. You can take videos with it and play with a laser, but I don't know a lot of dogs that are interested in a laser, so maybe more for a cat. Plus, are your pets going to be scared by this little robot wheeling around the house? The bottom line is, it exists. Let's look at some specific tech or IoT for cats. I think one of the most popular cat items that has entered the tech world is automatic litters. I have a basic type of automatic litter where it has a sensor to know if the cat has been in the tray. It knows the cat has been in the tray, but not that it has left. So it has a very cautious timer to start the clearing rack to make sure the cat is not in the box. It's tech, but low tech. No app, just plug in and it works. But for those who want to get real techie, there are litter robots. This is basically a self-cleaning litter box. It too has a timer to clean the box after the cat has used it. In most litter robots, they look kind of like a small washing machine without a door. When the cat finishes, the drum or globe rotates and it sifts clumps from the clean litter. The waste goes into a drawer. One of the top of the line litter robots has Wi-Fi, which allows the pet parent to monitor and control the robot. The internal sensors collect information about your cat and their litter box usage in charts and readouts. If you have a cat with issues, you can then know exactly how much it is peeing or if it is using the box at all. You will have to have a pretty good space for a litter robot, and you will have to teach the cat how to use it. Well, that's a lot of tech stuff. It stands to reason that as technology advances, it's going to advance in the pet industry as well. Some of the new technologies are quite helpful. Some are fun, and if you want to spend money on something like a treat thrower via a robot, that's up to you. A lot of these products go hand in hand with my last episode on fur baby culture. People want to see their fur babies at home and know how they are doing. But things like tracker advancement, that can only be a good thing. So have a look around. You will need to do the research for the best of something you are looking at, but that's okay, because as I say, knowing is caring. Thank you for listening to Val Talks Pets. Please remember to follow and subscribe to ensure that you never miss an episode. To really help the show and make it easier for others to find, please rate and review each episode that you find interesting and helpful. And don't forget that you can also email me at val@valtalkspet.com with any topics that you would like me to address or with any questions you may have. Also, check out my website at valtalkspet.com for more information and cute pet pictures. Thanks for caring.